Okay, this is our third video just practicing spelling these chords, C chords, F chords, D chords, E chords, A chords, G chords, B chords, etc. in any quality, right? And we do that by memorizing where they start and then what you have to change, okay? It's not a deep dive into the anatomy of it. We're presuming you can already spell the basic notes of every one and that you understand the difference between the minor and, the triads and then the sevenths. But this is just getting practice at getting good at actually spelling each iteration. So video 1 did the minor 7 chords, or at least D, E, A, where they started, and then we branched off and spelled all the other ones. Video 2 did the major 7 chords, C and E and F, and then we branched off and did all the other ones. This one we're going to do G. Okay, so we're going to start where it is. G is a dominant 7 chord. It's G, B, D, F. If you just write that alone, then it's got a major triad and a minor 7th, and it's already dominant. These are all dominant 7 chords right here, and we're gonna have a go at it. So we're gonna find the G7 chord right there, and you know that it's going to be dominant already. G, B, D, F. Okay. There's also a G flat dominant 7 because there's a C flat major key, which this will be 5/4 right here. Let's see, can we see it? We can't see it. There we go, right there. So that means you're just gonna start on G flat, but it's just like lowering everything. It's going to be straight across. So G flat, B flat, D flat, and F flat. And there's a G sharp because there's also a key of C sharp minor and C sharp major. This will be the 5 chord for that. So you start on G sharp and you go, think about it, G sharp, B sharp, D sharp, F sharp, straight across, right? Again, this presumes you can spell the basic notes. And if you're not so certain about that, simply staring at it while we do it and reiterating it every time will get you more practice of that. All right, let's back up. If I wanted to make G major 7 chords, then I have to go over here. The difference between a dominant chord and a major 7th chord is the 7th gets raised when we're going in that direction. So I'm going to go back to the first page where we're doing only major 7 chords. And I'm going to find myself a G major 7 chord right there. So I'm going to go G, B, D, and then I have to raise the 7th, F sharp. And that makes sense because this would be like a 1 chord in the key of G major, and G major has an F sharp in the key signature. Right? Or the 4 chord in the key of D, and D has an F sharp in the key signature. All right. If we look, there's also a G flat major chord and a G sharp major chord, okay? Because they're either 4 chords or, in different keys, basically. So we start on the G flat, and we go G flat, B flat, D flat, and since we're making a major 7 out of a dominant 7 chord, we're going to raise the 7th, so it's just plain old F. Think about that. Not G, B, D, F, but G flat, B flat, D flat, and then raise up to the F. Here, pre-think about it for a second. I'm going to start on this row, and I'm going to go across, and I'm going to raise the 7th. So G sharp, B sharp, D sharp, and then F double sharp, right? Just like that. Okay. Now, if I want to make the minor, if you look, the difference between a dominant 7 chord and a minor 7th chord is the triad. 7ths are the same, so we're going to lower the 3rd if we're going in this direction. To make G chords minor, we're going to lower the 3rd. 7th is already fine. So here I am here on the minors. I find my G minor 7th right there. I know that if I went across, it'd be dominant. I got to lower the 3rd, so G flat, G, B flat, D, and F. Right? There is a G sharp minor chord that we should spell. That just means you're going to start on the G sharp row and you're going to lower the 3rd, so G sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp. Right? Okay. If I want to make it half diminished, I got to travel through here, lowering the 3rd and then lower the 5th. So that means when I do my thing, I'm going to have the G, I'm going to go down like this, and then I'm going to come back up because the 7ths are the same. Right? Let's take a look at this half diminished right here then. So if I want a G half diminished, right, I'm going to have to lower the 3rd and the 5th. Right? So G, lower the 3rd. That makes a diminished triad, right? And then back up for my 7th. A little dip down like that. There's a G sharp half diminished, so I'm going to start on the G sharp row, and then I'm going to lower B, D, and then back up. Think about that in your head for a second. Normally you go G sharp, B sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and that'd give you dominant, but you got to lower 3 and 7. So that will be G sharp, plain old B, plain old D, and then back up to F sharp. Right? Okay. And then here, when I want to make fully diminished, I'm going to have to lower the 3rd to get over to minor, lower the 5th to get over to diminished, half diminished like from the dominant, and then I'm going to have to lower the 7th. So everything's going to get lowered, right? So I go G, and I want you to think about that. It means everything afterwards lowered. So G, and then lower the third, B flat, lower the fifth, D flat, and F flat. And if you think of it like this, G, B, D, F, lower these guys, you'll never get confused on is this E or F flat, right? G sharp diminished, well, we're going to start up here on G sharp and we're going to lower everything. So instead of being on this row, we're going to be B, D, and F, right? And then G double sharp diminished, because there is such a thing as the key of A sharp minor, right? So this would be my 7 chord there. I'm going to start here. And, you know, this would normally give people tears, but by now you should just think about this. I got to lower everything, right? Got to lower the third to get to here. Got to lower the fifth to get to here, and then lower my 7th to get to there. So G double sharp, B sharp, D sharp, F sharp. It's fun to do at parties, all right? And there you go. This is a practice video where we went through all of these. Feel free to come back to it and pause. I will also just stop for a second so you can have a picture of that too. That might be the thing you want to practice, is to memorize these things. Although through iteration, we hope that that's something that happens. All right, last video will be on that one right there.